Greetings one and all. FetHead fiddling. If you've seen my previous video at Angela's place with the Shure SM7B, we were using it with her FetHead preamplifier, which is phantom powered in line. And at the end of doing that video, I took some time to make this video because I'm interested in the FetHead or cloudlifter or similar. I keep calling it the cloudlifter actually in the video, it's a FetHead. But I'm interested in that kind of thing because of the biodynamic M500 and V90R ribbon mics that I have, which have a very low output. Well, it pretty much means the interface has to be maxed out on the gain. And I wondered if they'd benefit from this kind of thing. So this video then is me swapping about with the two mics with and without the FetHead. When you've watched that, I'll tell you my thoughts. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm on the SM7B, and it has the Neumann cloudlifter, which I discovered, of course, obviously now I think about it, requires phantom power. The SM7B doesn't, but the cloudlifter does. So I'm looking at the meter there. I'm just going to bring it to, it just goes into the orange. How am I doing there? So yeah, okay. So that just about goes into the orange with the cloudlifter, as we can see on the dial. That, oh, we're in front of the camera there, Angela. That's nice. Oh, now you've kicked it. So what I'm going to do, so as we get a bit noisy, I'm going to remove the cloudlifter and see what it's like without it. Hello? So when I had it where that was before set, I couldn't hear a thing. This is about 3/4 of the way up, and it's not going to the orange, so I'm going to turn it up till it goes to the orange, so I get a similar kind of level that we had with the cloudlifter in. Turn it up to near maximum, and I'm still not getting orange, but I'm getting a bit. I think I'm getting a bit of distortion. Don't know when I hear back, so I'm still not getting it to be orange, even with it. I'm going to max it out then, the trim on the Focusrite Scarlett. Got a bit of hiss now from the Focusrite, and there I just get a bit of orange, but I can also think I hear a bit of distortion, even though it's not showing on the light on the Scarlett. So anyway, there you are. This is it. With maybe you want to hear Angela's voice before I go put the cloudlifter back in.
1, 2, hello everyone. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I'll put that back in. Just setting up ready for Angela. I can hear some hiss, I think, but I can actually hear the room and the window, so it's obviously got a lot more gain, and it's still, as I'm speaking now, it's only just going to orange. So we'll see what Angela's voice sounds like. It does sound well, be interesting. I'll listen back. I won't say, because when we listen back I'll make comments.
1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, not going into the orange. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Finally, before we do what Angela wants to have done, I'm just going to try it with an old ribbon mic. This then is the biodynamic M500 ribbon, and the gain on the Focusrite is nearing the top. I've got green but not going into the orange, so I'm just going to crank it a little bit. Now then, this is on the, yeah, again, that distortion thing when I crank the right to the top, so I'm going to take it back down a bit. There we go. Yeah, do you want to try this, Angela? It's just a bit noise, handling noise is a bit much on it. Just to give you an idea.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, hello. Hello. Would that be good? Hello, hello.
I'm just going to try it with a cloudlifter and we're done. This is it once again with the, yeah. Yes. Seems to me, I might get one. Do you want to try it, Angela? Just see what you think. Oh, you haven't got the headphones. You use mine if you like. It's a bit sweaty, I'm sorry.
1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, wow, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, very... It seems lift.
It does, doesn't it?
1. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, it's
okay,
good.
That's that. Okay, a bit more information. Angela is using an audio fuse interface. I carried my Focusrite Scarlett. Without the FetHead, the SM7B on the audio fuse interface had sufficient gain at about 3/4, just going into the orange. However, on the Focusrite Scarlett, it needed to be maxed out. Maybe that's okay. I don't like the idea of maxing out, particularly on a less expensive input mic preamp. When using the FetHead, the audio fuse, it's the other way around, even turned to minimum, was going into the orange. Again, not sure I like the idea of that. If you get loud, even at minimum, it's going to drive it too much. However, the Scarlett was at about 1/3. Somehow or other, I'm quite happy with 1/3 to 2/3, somewhere around that middle region. I don't know, maybe that's nonsense. But I just feel that any of the extremes, don't know, certainly at the top. What I'm thinking then is I would need to do a proper test if I wanted to be clear about it, because what I'd need to do, it seems, is record at a reasonable gain, maybe 3/4 without the FetHead, and then record adjusting with the FetHead, with the gain turned down obviously, and then I'm guessing if I then to export those and normalize them, listen back to the recording, what I'd be listening for then is, does having the gain on the preamp introduce more hiss than having the FetHead and having the gain down? But maybe the FetHead introduces hiss. If you get what I'm saying. Who knows? In the end, I thought, with Angela's interface, the audio fuse, because the SM7B had enough gain at 3/4, I'm thinking, surely that's okay. You know, it's in its comfort zone, if you like. So the FetHead isn't needed. With the Scarlett, having to have that gain right at the top, I'd need to do that test, I think, and normalise and then really listen. Does it, having the Scarlett at the top, increase the hiss? Is it better if the Scarlett's lower down and the boost from the FetHead? Obviously now, the FetHead isn't going to be neutral. People used to say in the old hi-fi days that a perfect amplifier is a stretch of wire with gain. What they're meaning, I think, is just pure conductive wire, but just at the other end of it, the signal is just bigger. But of course you have to have transistors and inductors, I'm guessing, and capacitors, all sorts of stuff. So that starts to add. So the question is, does the FetHead add hiss? I guess it must. I don't know. Does it affect transients? I guess it does, but would you notice? Does it alter the frequency response? Because nothing's perfect and it's quite inexpensive. So you'd need to test thoroughly, I think, to really get to the bottom of it. For me then, at the end, yes, there was definitely a boost. Of course, when things are louder, it sounds better. So it's difficult to say. I did feel with the ribbon mic and the Scarlett, I thought I could detect distortion, even though it wasn't showing on the Scarlett. It wasn't going into red on the rings at the front. It was kind of going into orange, but it sounded like it was struggling to me. And just from this brief look at it, I kind of felt maybe my ribbon mic with the Scarlett interface sounded better. It's about £60, I think, for the FetHead. Then you might want to weigh up, well, I'm going to do just a brief video after this about getting your mic to match your interface to match your headphones, because on her interface, the couldn't drive the headphones, and neither can the Scarlett. So I've got a headphone amplifier. There's loads of extra stuff. Would you be better off just spending the money and getting an interface which will come with better mic preamps, with sufficient gain, so you don't have to use a cloudlifter or a FetHead, and also with extra power to drive depending on the ohms of the headphones you've got. Anyway, that's it for now. I've got lost, but hope this has been of some use to you. See you next time.